Village of Harrison Board for February 2026 to order. Please rise for the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we've got roll call. Each trustee out, please identify as here or I, trustee Lancaster, I'm here, trustee Grandma, I'm here, trustee McCaffrey here, those present here, trustee Deal here, trustee Baldwin here. We have quorum. Next up, item 4, potential identification of potential conflicts of interest. Any items on the agenda that any trustee has a potential conflict of interest, please identify them all. Not. We move on. Item 5, correspondence or communication from board and staff.
If I can, Mr. Chair, I'd just like to introduce the 2 new staff members at the end of the table that are joining us. John Master has joined us as an IT manager. Amen. I don't have to do IT anymore. And Jenny Pagel is joining us as the utility superintendent at the Harrison Utilities. So I've asked them to just attend. You can put a face to the name. John will be here with us with the meetings in case we have issues going forward, but it should be well.
Okay, welcome aboard. Next up, we have corrections and approval of previous meeting minutes. We have January 27th, 2026 and February 10th, 2026.
I traded that one thing.
Trustee Lancaster.
Just wondered, do we know when weight limits may be going on? I've had some contractors kind of asking, so just if we can give as much heads up as possible so they can plan schedules, that'd be great.
We will do that, but we have no idea.
Okay.
Going back to item 6, corrections and approval of previous meeting minutes of January 27, 2026 and February 10th, 2026. Looking for a motion and a second on these. Trustee McCaffrey.
Yes, I'd like to make a motion to approve the previous meeting minutes from January 27, 2026 as printed and circulated, and February 10th, 2026 meeting minutes as printed and circulated.
Trustee Baldwin.
I'll second the motion.
So we have a motion by trustee McCaffrey and a second from trustee Baldwin. Any discussion? There being no discussion, please vote your ballot.
I can.
Second.
As a Mary can. First meeting's love.
And the motion passes unanimously. Next up is item 7, public comments. Having consulted with the people in the crowd and with the village manager, we don't have anybody signed up for public comments, so we will go ahead and skip that item for now. Item 8, reports. Everyone got a copy of all the reports in the packet. Is there any questions or concerns or comments of anything in the reports? Trustee Lancaster.
Thank you. Regarding Fire Station 70 construction update reporting here, are there any other, only one time to consider, but is there any other items outstanding that we know of that need to get purchased or, schedule wise and things like that that could jeopardize the schedule at this point?
No. This is the only item that I asked that same question in this construction meeting, and this is the only item that was in there that required order purchase products. So then we shouldn't have any issues after this.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions, comments, or concerns with some of that? There being none, let's go ahead and get to item 9, approval of the housing plans for January 2026. We'll be needing a motion in a second, that's all. Trustee Baldwin,
I'll make a motion to approve bills and claims for January 2026 as presented.
trustee Theo.
I'll second that.
So we have a motion by trustee Baldwin and a second by trustee Field. Any discussion on the bills and claims for January 2026? There being no discussion, please vote your ballot. And the motion passes unanimously. Next up is item 10, appointments. We'll need a motion to appoint the new utility superintendent Jenny Eagle to the Manasha Sewage Commission. Trustee Lancaster,
First of all, welcome to our two new staff members. We're very happy to have you. And I will make a motion to appoint Jimmy Pagel to serve as the Village of Harrison representative on the Neenah Menasha Storage Commission.
trustee Manhattan.
I'll second it.
So we have a motion by trustee Lancaster and a second by trustee Manhattan. Any discussion? Maybe Chad, you can give us real quick for the public what being on this commission does for the village of Harrison.
Yeah, so the roughly 1,000 or so or 1,500 residents, sewer goes to the Neenah Menasha sewage plant, which is in Neenah. And so that we all own a portion of the plant, so the commission is like the governing board that makes decisions on the operations and expansions and those kinds of things. So as was in the newspaper a few maybe last month, they just approved a major phosphorus removal program that's going to involve funding from all the entities. We're exploring, I think our commitment is 1.7 million or something of that sort, don't quote me on the number, but we'll be meeting with Ellers to determine kind of the best path forward to fund those kinds of things. And so those are the a lot of the discussion that's happening, and then the general operations.
Okay, thank you. And we've known about this up there for many, many years. So it's not anything that just come out of nowhere. So
Correct. And Brandon Barlow, the former office manager, served, and then I filled in for a couple of months, but she's more well suited. Jenny's got a lot of background in wastewater treatment, running a Clintonville wastewater treatment plant, so it's better for her to sit on the commission than me.
yeah, thank you. All right, please vote your ballot. And the motion passes unanimously. Next up is item 11, old business for discussion. Looks like we have none at this time. How many months in a row is there where we haven't had it? So, good job. Next up is 12A.
This is a site plan review for Legacy Hoops, W 4815 and W 4829 Fieldcrest Drive, parcels 47010 and 47012 in the Crossroads Business Park. And the motion is to approve the site plan for Legacy Hoops, W 4815 and 4829 Fieldcrest Drive with the following conditions. The conditions below must be met before the site plan permit is issued. Number one, any further dumpster enclosure located within the front yard shall first require prior approval from the Village of Harrison Planning Department. Any roll-out garbage container shall be stored inside, and any future dumpster enclosure shall comply with the Business Park District zoning code and shall be enclosed with materials that complement the principal building. Number two, a detailed site plan review pursuant to Article X 111 of the zoning ordinance shall be completed prior to issuance of zoning and building permits. 3, the site plan is subject to the review and recommendations of the Village of Harrison's engineer of record. 4, a grading and drainage stormwater management plan and erosion control plan shall be reviewed and approved by the village engineer and village staff. And number 5, only those uses permitted in the applicable zoning district shall be allowed within the development. And then 6, sorry. And 6, all applicable local, county, and state rules, regulations, and ordinances shall be met.
Be needing a motion and a second here. Trustee Lancaster,
I'll make a motion to approve the site plan for Legacy Hoops W 4815 and 4829 Fieldcrest Drive with the conditions that were read.
Trustee Brumman,
I'll second.
so we have a motion from trustee Lancaster and a second by trustee Grantmeyer. Any discussion? Trustee Lancaster.
So my only concern with this, I'm wondering if I should make a motion, well. We need to amend or have another condition, looking for the village manager's feedback on this. We've had issues with street parking. With other businesses within Harrison. Where things get blocked on both sides of the road, you can't get emergency apparatus through and various concerns like that. And I could see. I saw in the documents how they're looking at this parking lot now and maybe a future larger parking lot later. And just wondering with them having some tournaments and things like that, if we need to do something here of either no street parking or only on one side of the street or something, so they know from the get-go that they can't be blind, us having the same problem we with our business that kind of came after, came to us later and said, why do I really have to do this, et cetera, et cetera.
The engineer is in the audience. I don't know, do you want to speak to that?
Sure, okay.
Can you come to the podium? You hit the public.
Okay, Bob Mock with Mock for Engineering and Surveying. That concern was communicated with the owners. They will be having some tournaments out here, but really they can only have, I think, 2 courts playing at any one time. There's about 50 parking stalls here, so we think that's going to be adequate for what they're planning out here. If in the future there is a problem with on-street parking or them needing overflow, there is room for them to add about another 25 stalls to the site. So we're aware of it. Don't think it'll be a concern, but there is a contingency if that comes up. And they're aware that they can't park on the streets.
Trustee Van Humby.
I guess, that, sort of came up during the planning commission last week, and, like I said, there was 50, spaces and an additional 25 to the west of the as needed. And I think that's very sufficient for where this is located at this time. I also think this is an excellent opportunity for the village of Harrison. I spoke to, I know 3 coaches I know from, the school district that for baseball and for volleyball training purposes. They're desperate and needing a facility like this, and this is the perfect location for them in that area. So I think this is going to bring a lot of people to the area, and which will promote our business park. Well, there are a lot of opportunities in that corridor, so I think this is a great concept for the village of Harrison going forward. And thanks, Chad, for helping bring this home here.
Thank you.
Trustee Lancaster.
Thanks for the information. And I agree with trustee Van Happy that this is an excellent development. I'm definitely very for this development. Just trying to make sure our bases are covered so that as time goes on, people forget, sometimes we just have various things. So I guess to Chad, I'm just wondering, seeing the owners do understand no on-street parking, but should that actually be a condition here? So that way it is in writing and there can't be any misunderstandings later, because it sounds like that won't impede them either because they weren't planning on that anyway, but just again, trying to avoid some misunderstandings we've had in the past with other entities.
I mean, you can make a motion if you want. I don't think it's gonna be necessary, but if you feel the need to add it as a condition, you can.
I'm gonna make an amendment then to add a condition on no on-street parking. It's I know, but I think it's important to have things laid out so there's not misunderstandings later than we've had in the past. And what's in writing is what really matters at the end of the day, not, so.
I think it's good we don't micromanage something right out of the gate here too, Matt.
So let's go ahead and if you want to make an amendment, I guess I can't stop you. So are you gonna make an amendment?
Yes.
So we have a motion on the table to amend the current site plan review Is there a motion or second to that motion? Okay, there is no second to the motion, so that does not carry. Any more discussion on this site plan review? Trustee Brett.
Well, regarding parking. We do park on one side of the street at the other business, just put no parking signs on the other side. No big deal, I
If it
guess.
becomes a problem, that's a solution.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, so we have a motion and a second. There being any more discussion? There being no more discussion, please vote your ballot. And the motion passes unanimous. Next up is 12E.
This is a zero-turn lawnmower replacement for the Department of Public Works, and the motion is to approve the purchase of a zero-turn lawnmower replacement from the Department of Public Works from Two Checks Outdoor Power for $12,733.39.
Trustee Deal,
We'll make a motion to approve the purchase of the zero turn lawnmower replacement for public works from Fleschke's Outdoor Power for $12,733.39.
Trustee Lancaster,
I will second that, and I also just want to compliment staff on looking for cost savings and opportunities, so great job with that. I'm just spending the budget money to spend. Thank you.
so we have a motion by trustee Deal and a second by trustee Lancaster. Any discussion? There being no discussion, please vote your ballot. And the motion passes unanimously. Next up is 12C.
This is the Cedar View Stormwater Pond Land Acceptance, and the motion is to accept parcel 47162, the stormwater management pond site at Cedar View subdivision, and authorize village staff to complete the transfer with the village attorney.
Trustee Baldwin,
I'll make a motion to accept parcel 47162, the stormwater management pond site at Cedar View subdivision, and authorize village staff to complete the transfer with the village attorney.
trustee Deal.
I'll second that.
So we have a motion by trustee Baldwin and a second by trustee. Any discussion? There being no discussion, please vote your ballot. And the motion passes unanimously. Next up is 12B.
This is selling policy reimbursements for lots 1 and 2 for the Crossroads Business Park. And the motion is to approve the reimbursement of $1,250 of brokerage fees for lots 1 and 2 in the Crossroads Business Park per the village's selling policy.
Trustee Van Houten,
Yes, I'd like motion to approve the selling policy reimbursement for lots 1 and 2 Crossroads Business Park for the amount of $1,250. Bridget Circling.
trustee Deal.
I'll second that.
So we have a motion by trustee Van Houten and a second by trustee Deal. Any discussion? There being no discussion, please vote your ballot. And the motion passes unanimously. Next up is 12.
This is cameras and door access proposal from TAC for Farmers Field. And the motion is to approve $30,889.97 for door access and security camera system at Farmers Field with Tech Security, the village's current vendor.
All right, just clear the board. Okay, trustee Brennan.
Make a motion.
Hold on a second, and I carry it.
Make a motion for camera door access. Check. That farm with TCC at Farmers Field for
for $30,889.97. Trustee Theo,
I'll second.
so we have a motion by trustee Brandmeyer and a second by trustee Field. I guess maybe explain, Chad, justification for the cost of $30,889, maybe speak about history of Farmers Field and what we've been told and
Yeah, and given the kind of track record we've had at Darboy Park with some issues. I think it's all the more important with this shelter kind of being out in the open for now. So the plan is to have a key fob system like we have on all of our village facilities. And it's also a pretty advanced security system with the cameras outside the perimeter of the building as well as a camera in the community meeting space. And then some cameras on the parking lot in the access road to try to get as much surveillance as we can of the area in case as we have had in the past, issues there that we at least can see what's going on and have a better chance at it. So that's really the investment is really in the camera side of it, and it's really for monitoring the activity that happens in the park.
thank you. Trustee Lancaster,
Question would be, is this also internet based where the Japanese will be able to pull things up remotely like they can for Darwin Park?
Yes, there's an app and they can see all of our cameras, including Village Hall.
Is there any cost we need to account for to have internet in the park?
Yes, but not yet. So we are working with TDS, AT&T, and Spectrum. We're kind of having them work against each other to look at internet service into the park, fiber internet into stations, the new station 70, and a fiber upgrade to Village Hall. So we're having them work on proposals, and we'll come back with something in the future, but we kind of lumped them all in the same bucket.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
trustee Van Happy,
Chad, question for you. With the Kimberly School construction team working on this building, you know, we know that this is gonna take longer, probably till the later fall of 2026. Are we gonna purchase this equipment ahead of time? Because if we wait till the building's done, it could be in another year or, you know, 3/4 of a year where the costs are gonna go up further.
Right, that's the reason I'm bringing the proposal really forward now is so that the tech can work alongside of Kimberly, and as the door frames are going in and all of that stuff, all the wires for the cameras and stuff can be put in right away as part of the electrical contract.
okay, any other questions or discussion? If not, please vote your ballot. And the motion passes unanimously. Next up is 12F.
This is the Village Hall office remodel contract with McMahon for $139,705. And the motion is to approve the contract with McMahon for $139,705 to start the design drawings to expand Village Hall into the boardroom to provide additional office space.
So before you take a motion and start talking about this, I just want to say that I know that there's some concerns about moving this project forward at this stage, related to whether Station 60 is going to happen, which we're under contract with McMahon and working through that design. The reason I put this on the agenda was really to get under contract with McMahon to look at getting some design drawings into place with the idea of maybe bidding Village Hall renovations along with Station 60 renovations, because it's a lot of the similar kinds of work. And we could maybe get some economies of scale and some savings by having both projects because they're right down the road together. So that was the real reason this was brought forward. But if the board feels otherwise, that they don't want to move forward at this stage, we're happy to shelve this until such time that we can, you know, move forward with it. But you know, we talked about in December the idea of expanding into this boardroom with office space because we're bulging at the seams in the other side with operations with the additional staff. So I just felt that it made sense to start that process and at least get some costs and see where we're at and then try to line the two projects up.
Trustee Baldwin,
With that, I will make a motion to approve the contract with McMahon for $139,705 to start the design drawings to expand Village Hall into the boardroom to provide additional office space.
Trustee Van Heffy.
I'll second that.
Okay, any discussion? Trustee Van Heffy.
Yeah, Chad, I think, you got a good idea about trying to divide the two, but I think these are essentially two separate, big projects, where, I think we, my personal opinion, I'd like to have separate votes on a Station 60 versus the furniture here, just in case down the road as things progress, and it doesn't complicate things. That's just my opinion on it.
It's a valid point. I think there's ways around that because they would be separate contracts within a larger contract. So I think they could be set up that way, but it may not even, the timing may not work either. So we'll just have to see where we ultimately go with that. And obviously we really can't do anything here until Farmers Field is ready because we have a lot of community members that use this space for rentals. So we're gonna have to wait till that's brushed up and ready to move forward as well. So the timing may just not work, but I think, it's something to look at.
Okay.
Trustee Lancaster.
I like where you're going, Chad. I think that makes sense. I would second trustee Van Hefty though too, that when it comes time to awarding contracts and stuff, just we want to make sure they're alternates or how we label it, that it's not all one big, that we can have proper discussion and educate the community because they are different. I do see the need though. We've talked about, you shared with us and it's like you shared, I mean, we got the whole idea of there's money in the budget next year that we don't have to spend remodeling old Station 70 and that to be applied here. So just with the list of two, if you're looking at finances and budget that we're all looking at that. My only ask would be, we really do need to get 60 buttoned up for what are we doing there and what is that going to cost? Because those are key numbers as we work with Village of Sherwood and the town of Woodville on where we're going with this fire contract stuff. So your bandwidth, what we don't need to micromanage your schedule, but if you're prioritizing A versus B, just please make sure Station 60 stays the focus is all I ask.
I understand that. I think, as we've discussed, there's some things that we have to get in place with knowing what the size of the Station 60 is going to be based on the fire contracts. But we're full steam ahead with getting 60 under contract and renovated. So I don't see, and from the funding standpoint, Station 60 is going to be a borrowing. This may be fund balance, so we are going to have them separate contracts within a larger contract. So we'll work with the architect on that.
Okay, thank you very much.
Any other discussion? All right, go ahead and vote your ballot. And the motion passes unanimously. Next up is 12G.
This is a special event permit and emergency access plan, EAP requirements for large events. And the motion is to approve the special event permit and emergency access plan as presented.
Trustee Field.
So I'll make a motion to approve a special event permit and emergency access plan as presented.
Trustee Brandmeier. No second. So we have a motion by trustee Field and a second by trustee Brandmeier. Any discussion? Maybe Chad, you wanna elaborate how this came about and why we're just bringing it up today?
I would refer to the village clerk because this is really area.
So we just had a lot of special event permits come through and we have no plans for these, or the people that are applying for the special events have no plans when it comes to emergencies. So whether the fire emergencies or anything, and we just talking with the community risk reduction officer, just getting something in place so that they have an idea what their plan is. Even for like the Fox Cities Marathon that comes through and their biking. On the lake.
So to triathlon, right?
Yeah, there's all kinds of events, and the bigger organizations have those emergency access plans already. The smaller ones don't, so we just want to make sure everybody's doing the same thing.
Okay, thank you for the information. That being said. Trustee Lancaster.
Thank you. I really appreciate and glad you brought this forward. This is great forward thinking from you guys, so thank you for doing that. Question I have, does this also allow you guys as staff to approve things and have less come to the board? Because really, I would love to be able to empower you guys to approve these kind of events and only bring them to the board if you feel that you need the board's input, but routine that, you know, you guys have that discretion to decide when to come to the board with closing a street for a block party, for example, or things like that versus when you guys just approve it.
So it does not, that would have to be an ordinance change, which is also on the agenda tonight, but I don't think that update was made in that ordinance change. Remember, right? I think it still requests village board approval.
Is that part of chapter 18
Chapter 8.
or chapter 8? Okay, I'll bring it up when we get there.
I can appreciate the sentiment of trying to do that, but sometimes that works in our favor. When we can't get the event organizers to do what we want, then we can, you know, say, well, the board's gonna have to approve this, and with what's in there, staff can't recommend it. So sometimes that's good for us to have that leverage of trying to bring stuff before the board. So
Okay, so you kind of like it, because I mean, I like, you know, what, everything's less workshops too, so what you guys want,
I think leading it, I realize it's more things for you, but it helps us in negotiating with the event organizers to get to what we need from requirements.
well, and it was more. I wasn't looking at it as more work for us as far as another item on the agenda, I was more just looking at it from my timing standpoint, but you know, meetings and time, but if you guys prefer it in there, and that's great too, that's good feedback, so I appreciate that.
I think the other thing to keep in mind is that Harrison's growing and we're probably gonna end up with a lot more events coming through that may be bigger than what you're used to seeing. So I do agree with Chad on still bringing those to the board potentially.
Oh, that's great feedback, so thank you.
Any other comments or discussion? Alright, if no other discussion, please vote your ballot. And the motion passes unanimously. Next up is 12H.
This is a purchase of a 3-ton road saver asphalt trailer for the public works. And the motion is to approve the purchase of a 3-ton road saver asphalt trailer to fix potholes for $49,644.
Don't be shy, guys. Trustee Deal.
I'll make the motion to approve the purchase of the 3-ton road saver asphalt trailer to fix potholes for $49,644.
Trustee Lancaster.
I'll second that.
So we have a motion by trustee Deal and a second by trustee Lancaster. Any discussion?
Under discussion is for the public's sake, it seems like a lot of money, but it's also it's a burner that heats the asphalt up so that as you put it in the potholes, it sticks better versus using cold steel. I'm not the expert in this, but as I understand it, Jeff is concerned about potholes with the frost coming out, and he said we can go back and continually fill these things with the cold stuff, and the hot stuff sticks in, and you have a longer lifespan of filling the potholes versus putting the cold in. This was a non-budgeted item. The intent is to take it from the savings from those zero-turn lawn mower that was in the capital plan, and then to use $37,377 from the land sale of the Ryford Street property to get this purchased before we have to start filling pothole lines.
Trustee Lancaster.
That's my only question. Is there anything else formally that we have to do with budget since this was a non-budget item, or just us approving it takes care of any budget adjustments you guys have to make?
Yeah, it should be fine. Obviously, it's in the packet and based on your motion, it should be fine and I can make the readjustment.
Okay, thank you.
If no further discussion, please vote your ballot. And a motion passes unanimously. Next up is 12I.
This is the municipal code updates for chapter 8 businesses and business regulations, chapter 18 parks and recreation, and chapter 22 public works. On the motion to this, there's a motion to table this until the March meeting to obtain public input.
Trustee Lancaster,
I'll make a motion to table to the March meeting, fill out for public input.
trustee Brandmeier.
I'll second it.
So we have a motion and a second to table this item until the March 2026 meeting. Any discussion? My only question is how are we going to request feedback?
We have a website, webpage on our website that's municipal code revisions. And so these chapters get posted there, and then we do some Facebook and website media notifications. We hardly get any comments, but it's available to.
Is it a video including you? Because people love that.
I'm not gonna talk about municipal code changes unless they have insomnia.
But Chad, you could like now.
All right, no further discussion, please vote your ballot. And the motion to table passes unanimously. Next up is 12J.
This is a DNR grant agreement for Old Highway Road Trail, and the grant's for $160,000. And the motion is to approve the DNR grant agreement for Old Highway Road Trail for $160,000.
Trustee Lancaster,
I'll make a motion to approve the DNR grant agreement for Old Highway Road Trail for $160,000, and then just a brief comment. Excellent work, Chad, on getting another grant for this trail. It's exciting that we've gotten now up to over $1 million for this, saving local taxpayer money, so excellent work.
Trustee Brandmeier.
I'll second it.
So we have a motion by trustee Lancaster and a second by trustee Brandmeier. Any discussion? There being no discussion, please vote your ballot. And the motion passes unanimously. Next up is 12.
This is various change orders, and the motion is to approve DPW change order number 21 as $1,023, and Fire Station 70 BOE change order for $3,750.33.
Trustee Teal,
I'll make a motion to approve DPW change orders number 21 has a deduction of $8,023, and Fire Station 70 BOE change order for the amount of $3,750.33.
Baldwin.
I'll second.
So we have a motion by trustee Teal and a second by trustee Baldwin. Any discussion?
I just want to say that the last board meeting, you had asked me to upgrade the energies instead of doing change orders for the temporary heat for Station 70. So going forward in February, the village will be paying those costs directly, so you won't see any more change orders for temporary heat.
Good. Thank you. There being no discussion, please vote your ballot. And the motion passes unanimously. Next up is 12L.
This is various payment requests, and the motion is to approve the various payments under contract work totaling $1,204,588.98.
It's just for the public to be aware, these are payments for Station 70 and the DPW expansion project, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Trustee Ben Hapke,
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion to approve the various payment requests as printed and circulated by staff.
trustee Baldwin.
I'll second.
So we have a motion by trustee Ben Hapke and a second by trustee Baldwin. Any discussion? There being no discussion, please vote your ballot. Motion passes unanimously. Next up is 12L.
This is a soil borings proposal for Old Highway Road Trail Project. And the motion is to award the soil boring contract to Professional Services Industries Inc., PSI, for soil borings for the trail project along Old Highway Road for $6,150.
Trustee Deal,
I'll make the motion to award the soil boring contract to Professional Service Industries Incorporated for soil borings for the trail project along Old Highway Road for $6,150.
trustee Grandmeyer.
I'll second it.
So we have a motion by trustee Deal and a second by trustee Grandmeyer. Any discussion?
So I just want to state that, the DOT has, that we went out on request for proposals to hire an engineer for this project. We only received one and it was from McMahon. So the DOT has agreed to allow us to proceed forward. So there's a contract that'll be coming forward, hopefully in the March meeting, a three-party contract with the DOT, the village and McMahon for them to do the design of the trails as well. But Lee's been gracious to work with us to get some of these other things in place before they're under contract, but McMahon will be doing the road and the trail project.
Okay, thank you. No further discussion, please vote your ballot. And the motion passes unanimously. Next up is 12N.
This is the business license application, and the motion is to approve the business license application as presented.
Trustee Baldwin,
And I'll make that motion to approve the business license application as presented.
trustee Lancaster.
I'll second.
We have a motion by trustee Baldwin and a second by trustee Lancaster. I guess, Chad, just give us a broad overview why we're here today on this. I know we haven't had business license applications until recently, and that was just so that we could do fire inspection, at least identify businesses in the area. We didn't charge very much, but I'll let you.
I'm gonna defer to the village one.
So this is another form that we're updating. It was completely out of date until recently. Along with this, you see on the application, the fire department will do their inspection prior to occupancy. That was never required before. That's also been updated in the ordinance that was presented tonight, or that was tabled till next month. Really just working on updating everything and getting it up to compliance of this.
Thank you. I just want to make sure some of the stuff that people understand why we are where we are with things that we're doing, because I know just go through stuff and then a lot of times people don't look at the packets to watch the meetings, but it's just sometimes good to get just that little piece of information just so that we can make sure that we're transparent with the public. So thank you.
A lot of this is coming because of the code update as well, so those two are kind of working hand in hand.
Any other discussion? All right, please vote your ballot. And the motion passes unanimously. Next up is 12O.
This is a years of service and retirement program for the Harrison Fire Rescue, and the motion is to approve the years of service and retirement program as attached.
Trustee Field,
I'll make the motion to approve the years of service and retirement program as attached. For the village of Harrison Fire and Rescue.
trustee Baldwin.
I'll second.
So we have a motion by trustee Deal and a second by trustee Baldwin. Any discussion? There being no discussion, please vote your ballot. So we have a 4 approved, 2 abstain, so the motion passes. Next up is 12Q for Katie?
This is airbag exhaust removal system for fire station 70. And the motion is to approve an airbag exhaust system for $93,544 for the equipment bay at fire station 70.
Trustee Lancaster,
Motion to approve airbag exhaust system for $93,544 for equipment bay at fire station 70 out of the overall project budget.
trustee Bishop.
I'll second it.
So we have a motion by trustee Lancaster and a second by trustee Van Hefty. Any discussion?
Just under discussion, so I did put a picture of what these things look like, but in essence, they're a square air filter that sits above in between the truck bays of where the trucks are parked. And it'll be motion sensor, so as the garage doors go up, these things will turn on. There'll also be an override that if the trucks are running in the bay, you can turn it on to exhaust it out. So this is the newer technology. If you've ever been in a fire station, that's, a little bit older, they had an exhaust kind of connector that went onto the exhaust, and then as the truck pulled away, it kind of releases itself out. This is its own kind of thing hanging from the ceiling, and it doesn't have any connectors and all of that kind of stuff. It's just all sensor-eyed, and as the trucks leave, it exhausts out the building when the doors are going up, and that's what the sensor and all of that kind of stuff is for.
Any discussion on this? No discussion? Please vote your ballot. Trustee Lancaster,
Just a comment for the public too, that if they're watching this later, so it all goes into the exhausting that carcinogens and things out of the building, so it all goes into the health and safety of the firefighters is why this technology goes in the building.
thank you. Any other discussion or comments? Okay, please vote your ballot. And the motion passes unanimously. Next up is 12Q.
This is open discussion and consideration to discuss future contract terms between the village of Harrison and the village of Sherwood and the town of Woodville related to a fire service contract, prior to potentially going into closed session to discuss strategy and bargaining authority for the village manager to use the negotiator Shima said.
So I guess I'm gonna let Chad go ahead and lead where we're at right now on status.
Sure, so the last board meeting, the board went into closed session and kind of gave us some thoughts on how to renegotiate these contracts. So staff has since spent some time with putting together some thoughts and a PowerPoint and things to share with our partners at Sherwood and Woodville. So those were the kinds of things I think at this stage we would recommend going into closed session to review those items.
Any comments from board members about going into closed session? Because this is, again, strategizing on negotiations and where we stand as village. As far as fire protection for neighboring communities that we provide a service for. If there's no other comments, do we vote to go into closed session on this
No,
first?
you go to the next item, so there's a separate closed session where you're voting.
So the second closed section item here would be for discussion of each 12R.
This is open discussion and consideration for the purpose of deliberating or negotiating the purchase of public properties, investing of public funds, or conducting other specified public business prior to potentially going into closed session to discuss strategy and bargaining authority for the village manager to use to obtain right of way for the extension of Eisenhower Drive.
And I'll just say for myself, I asked Chad to put this on there because we have hit a crossroad with our planning with extending Eisenhower, and we need to possibly look at some tools in the toolbox that will help us get that. And also, we need to be informed of some legal liabilities if we don't. So, you're okay with that? Next up, we have, I guess before we go into closed session, I guess we got item 13, which is future agenda items. Is there any future agenda items that anyone here on the board like to have put on the agenda for future meetings? There being none, I guess we're gonna go to 14A. So we have a March 10th. Meeting at 6 p.m. at Fire Station 16 Sherwood for a joint meeting with Sherwood and Woodville. We have March 17th, which is our Fire Station 70 tour. We have the March 31st Village Board Meeting of the month, and then we have April 21st special village meeting to swear in our new member and vote for
Planning Commission.
planning commission, and then we have the end of the month, April 28th meeting. As well.
We're thinking the April 21st meeting, that's before a planning commission, so it probably will be 30 or 5:45, and I don't see it being more than 15 minutes. But that way the board can, probably swear in the member for the planning commission, before the planning commission meets that night.
How many members are we talking?
One. Mark holds it today.
Okay. All right. Next up, we have closed session. You want to read the verbiage?
Sure, told you. All right. The board may convene in closed session pursuant to Wisconsin statute section 19.851E for the purpose of deliberating or negotiating the purchase of public properties, investing of public funds, or conducting other specified public business. Whenever competitive or bargaining reasons require a closed session, specifically to discuss the appropriate bargaining strategy for the village manager to use to obtain right of way for the extension of Eisenhower Drive. The attendees may include the village board, village manager, finance director, treasurer, village clerk, village engineer, fire chief, and village attorney. And then I will read number 2 as well. The board may convene in closed session pursuant to Wisconsin statute section 19.851E for the purpose of deliberating or negotiating contract terms wherever competitive or bargaining reasons require a closed session, specifically to discuss strategy and bargaining authority to be used by the village manager in negotiations related to the fire service contract with the village of Sherwood and the town of Toshville. Attendees may include the village board, village manager, finance director, treasurer, village clerk, fire chief, and village attorney.
We're gonna need a motion and a second to go to closed session. Okay. Trustee Van Hefty,
Make a motion to go into closed session.
trustee Brandmeier.
I'll second it.
We have a motion by trustee Van Hefty and a second by trustee Brandmeier. Any discussion? This will be a roll call vote. Trustee Lancaster.
Aye.
Trustee Brandmeier.
Aye.
Trustee Van Hefty.
Aye.
Village president says aye. Trustee Field.
Aye.
Trustee Baldwin. We are now in closed session. Let's go ahead and take a 5-minute break. Before we adjourn. Thank you. Come back.